Hey everyone. So today we're going to talk about a pretty big shift that's happening in our digital lives. It's this move away from the massive, noisy public squares of social media and into something a lot smaller, a lot more private. Really, we're talking about taking back control. So let me just start by asking you a really direct question. I want you to think about it. When you log on to your favorite platform, is it actually working for you? Or have you become the product? It's a huge distinction, and it's at the core of everything we're about to get into. You know, this quote from our source material absolutely nails it. It points out this built-in conflict. The very thing that's useful for you is often the complete opposite of what's profitable for the platform. And that tension, that's where all the frustration comes from. So let's put a name to the problem, right? First up, you've got surveillance capitalism. Sounds intense, but it's just a fancy way of saying your data, your clicks, your likes, even your private messages, that's the real product being bought and sold. And then there's the attention economy trap, where these platforms are literally designed to hijack your focus, to keep you scrolling, usually at the expense of your own mental health. But here's the good news. It doesn't have to be like this. In fact, finally recognizing these problems is paving the way for a whole new way of connecting online, one that actually puts us, the users, back in the driver's seat. And this new way of doing things, it has a name, the Private Microsocial Network, or PMSN for short. The easiest way to think about it is like building your own digital home. It's small, it's built for a specific purpose, and the most important part is that you and your community are the ones in charge. It's all about reclaiming that control. And that whole idea of taking back control, well, that's what we're going to call digital sovereignty. It's about owning your data, setting your own rules, and having a direct line to your own community. Okay, so let's look at the biggest difference right off the bat. Who owns the data? On the big platforms, your data is their product to sell. In a private network, your data is your property. Simple as that. This is all possible because of tech like end-to-end encryption. The entire architecture of a platform like web4.community, for instance, is built from the ground up to make sure you are the one and only owner. All right, next up, the rules. Big platforms have one giant, confusing set of rules for literally billions of people. It's a one-size-fits-none deal. But in your own private network, you get to be the governor. You decide the culture. You build the moderation system that actually works for your people. And frameworks like web4.community are designed to do exactly that. 100%. Think about that number for a second. That's your direct line of communication, in your own space. There's no algorithm deciding who sees your posts. There's no platform telling you to pay to play just to reach your own members. With a purpose-built platform like web4.community, when you send a message, it gets delivered 100% of the time. But look, having control is just step one. The real magic happens when you use that control to create real, authentic value. And that means we have to shift our focus away from just mindless scrolling and toward actual meaningful interaction. You know that feeling when you open your feed? It's just a storm of algorithmic noise, all designed to make you react. Well, private networks let you escape that trap completely. Here, the information you see is based on actual relevance, not outrage. You can organize things by topic, by project, whatever makes sense. It creates this clean, signal-rich environment that's actually focused. And let's be honest, we've all felt it, that low-key anxiety and FOMO that's basically baked into these big apps. Well, private networks can be designed with a totally different goal in mind, your well-being. On platforms like web4.community, you've got features like customizable notifications and a total absence of those addictive tricks. It allows you to engage when you want to, which just creates a much healthier space. Creating deeper interactions isn't just about getting rid of the bad stuff. You have to add the right tools. And platforms built for this, like web4.community, give you features designed for depth. Things like dedicated knowledge bases, smart tagging so you can actually organize conversations, and real support for long-form content. This is how a community actually builds and saves its collective knowledge. So you've got this amazing, valuable space. But how do you make sure it's actually going to last? Well, this last piece of the puzzle is all about making your community truly future-proof. How a platform makes its money tells you everything you need to know about its relationship with you. The big guys, they sell your attention to advertisers. But the private network model, it's built on a direct exchange of value. Being ad-free means you can have sustainable models like subscriptions. The platform's success is tied to how much value the members get, not what advertisers want. And a platform like web4.community is a perfect example of this. Building your community on a huge corporate platform is kind of like building your dream house on rented land. They can shut down, change the rules, and poof, take your entire community with them. This is why open source models are so critical. With a portable framework, like the one web4.community offers, you're never locked in. Your community's legacy is safe because you own it, all of it. So when you put all these pieces together, what you get is a really clear, actionable path forward. By following these principles, whether it's on a platform like web4.community or another one, you're not just switching apps. You're building a truly sustainable digital home. You own your data, you define your culture, you create real value, you customize your tools, and you preserve your community's legacy. Honestly, for any group that really values things like privacy, focus, and real connection, making this shift from mass market social media to a private, self-run network isn't just a cool idea anymore. It's become a strategic necessity if you want to thrive. And that really just leaves us with one final powerful question to think about. The tools to build better, healthier, and more valuable digital spaces, they're here. The power is shifting back to us, the users, the creators. So what kind of digital world are you going to build?